Thanks for coming back for more Beer Me That Movie. This week, our 11th Fast Five is all about beers that inspire big ideas. We're talking about High Water from Gravity Bound Brewing, Big Nose from Swamphead Brewery. Yes, there may be some Pinocchio-related homicide.
Leave me out of this.
And from Resident Culture, Dance, Til You're Dead. So grab your favorite beer and settle in for these and a few more as we get started on Fast Five number 11.
Okay, well, here's to drinking with bow-legged women. We're back, fresh off terrifying you from stealing out of the break room fridge ever again.
Hello, folks. My name is Jon. Next to me is Harrison, and welcome to this week's Beer Me That Movie, where the points are not made up and they do matter.
We're talking about social credit score points, of course. They're coming. You heard it here first.
Lucky for us, listening to this show earned you 20,000 points.
Ooh, and telling a friend about it gets you another 20,000. Don't delay. Act now. Before you know it, you'll be denied access to the Long John Silver's drive-thru after losing 1 million points because your grass was too long.
HOA controls the points.
Controls the whole world.
That's enough news updates, I suppose. Let's get to this movies and beers, but wait, first.
Yeah.
As a podcaster, I'm inclined to tell you that it's up to you to like and subscribe to this podcast. Tell your friends. We're everywhere. If you have the internet in your pocket, you can find us there. Instagram, TikTok, it's all on the screen. And a new addition, Podcast Addict. We joined the Podcast Addict streaming family, so you can even find us on that platform. Also, Spotify now has over 250,000 video podcasts, of which Beer Me That Movie was one of the first 1% published on there. So don't even go looking.
Top 1%.
You're here with the original OG. We're cool. We're millennials. We invented cool.
We're so cool. We're cooler than the other side of the pillow. All right. So thank you, Jon. With that, though, let's jump right into the recap of last week's rare snack from a Beer Me That Movie reoccurring character, if you will, Abomination Brewing, who we've done a lot of fun Fast Fives with, but that was their first feature, if I can remember correctly. I think I'm right. But it was we did some new things. Do you have any thoughts, Jon? I have a few, as always. Not a ton, but
so 2 of them,
okay.
3, maybe 4.
We'll see what happens.
We should always do a accent of someone that isn't really cancelable.
Right.
So I'm thinking maybe Greek for this film.
Good.
It was fun to do Yuri. It was fun to bring in a little bit of brevity to a situation that was really weird.
Yeah.
I don't know how we landed there with the title Rare Snack. I felt like it should have been a movie about all my favorite things to eat.
Right.
There wasn't enough snack mentions. And also a point about the beer Rare Snack.
Yes.
So I live in a state where I think beer is capped at 15% ABV.
Right.
But I also went out and bought a can of Rare Snack, and it's listed at 16% ABV. So I don't know what magic happened, but I'm here for it. I love it. I'm really excited to drink the beer that we made a movie about.
Ooh, that's nice. That's a big beer. If you'd help sharing that, Jon, you know where I live.
It's good to have a good friend.
Right in this 12 by 12 shed. This is my whole house. We're in my bathroom right now and my kitchen.
It's good to have them close.
That's right. In through the outdoor. Okay, so what are my thoughts? I think I'm happy that we got to talk about AI without forcing it. AI is everywhere. Everyone wants to talk about it. It was inevitable, but I'm glad it kind of just happened and worked its way into this story, and that we had a cool kind of low-tech solution to beat it.
Yes.
You know, there are plenty of those movies where it's someone else hacks the mainframe or they kind of outsmart the AI. I guess we did that, but just by kind of playing to its prime directive, or maybe not that, but it's what it mostly does is answer people's questions. We use that against them. So I don't know. I thought that was fun. That tickled my brain. I agree. Probably not enough snacks, although I'm reminded that like it kind of started with a snack and ended with all the borscht that knocked out the whole town for all the lobotomies. So I don't know if borscht is a snack.
It's a rare snack.
Yeah, I mean, I've never even seen it, but I know it exists because of the internet.
With soup energy.
Good God. Yeah. I love soup, but I don't like beets, so borscht might not be for me. But if I am inhabited by some kind of AI thing, please just make me eat it. Do whatever you need to get that thing out of my head. Love the Russian accents. Traveling Russian dentist. That's terrifying, but Yuri helped save the day. So he's turning the image of a traveling Russian dentist around, one small liberated town at a time. And yeah, but it was a lot of fun. I'm glad we did something about AI. It was funny. It was kind of, I guess it was another kind of thriller, more like a conspiracy movie, maybe, with the kind of people disappearing and who did it and what's this big bad company up to. We also kind of stuck it to big companies, which is always fun.
Yeah. Lord knows they stick it to us enough.
That's right, all the time. So yeah, I don't know, a lot to like, lots of fun snacks. So thanks for listening to it.
Yeah, so that handles last week's rare snack. If you have anything you want to contribute, our socials are always open. Harrison doesn't do anything when he's not podcasting other than watch our social media channels. So come say hi.
Very active. Keep it going, though. Get it more active.
Let him know. We're about to reveal a bunch of more Fast Fives, but before that...
That's right. We have the beer, so John's going to fire up the old Untappd-verse, but we'll jump into that Fast Five world, shift right into it. Before he does, the beer this week we're drinking is Pseudo from Toppling Goliath, the one and only, the dinosaur beer.
This is well known.
Yeah, right. Very well known as a lot of things, the dinosaur beer, whatever. But yes, now more widely available. It used to be one of those beers that people were like, oh, Pseudo's in town, cancel your plans. Luckily for all of us, they are making a lot more of it at Toppling Goliath out in lovely Decorah, Iowa. It's a 100% Citra hopped beer. Citra's great. It's a pale ale, 5.8% ABV. But yeah, if you like Citra or want to know what Citra tastes like, mango, grapefruit, evergreen things happening all in this beer, and we are gonna enjoy it tonight. So thanks, Toppling Goliath, for crushing it, for making more of this beer so we can all enjoy it. But as always, this is not the beer that's going to be the movie. It's just inspiring John and I, fueling us up as we jump through drunk Twitter and find that movie that we're going to make a new feature tonight, which again, you've already checked it in. We just have to go stumble upon it.
Literally, anytime you're checking in a beer on Untappd, throw it at me and Harrison. If you want to make sure it gets on the show, screenshot it or send us a link to it on Instagram. Because like I said, Harrison's going to find it on there. So you can make sure you're setting Harrison and I up with easy layups, not difficult beer names that you send to us.
Exactly. Please no foreign languages. Whatever. Do whatever you want.
Real quick before we jump in, Harrison, I want to know, in one word or two, depending, what is your favorite dinosaur?
Oh, gosh.
Many hours later.
Gosh, what was it called? Ankylosaurus, the ones with the big tail that swung, that was like a mallet that would swing around. Ankylosaur, I think that's what it's called.
Because it would take your ankles out, is how I assume they named it.
Yep, something like that.
All right, so Drunk People Twitter floating right above us. You can't see my hand coming through if you're watching the video, but
drunk Twitter.
Untappd is getting a full fist right now.
You can grab it. Oh, no, I can't grab it. I can hold it up, though.
One day that technology will be real, where I could just grab the beer and drink it. Wow. Probably not. I don't know who's inventing that, but
so what do we have? What's beer one? Where are we starting?
Popping up. I'm not gonna do a swipe because I like what I see.
Perfect.
This is a beer. I might need your eyes because I like having the screen really close to me. This is why we might not do it again.
Got it.
I can see the name, but Harrison, will you will you do me a favor and just I can't. It's not my eyes. It's that I can't read.
That's right.
My eyes work like a young man's
brain
eyes.
does not. Right. Just have no words in the memory bank. So beer number one is going to be actually a mead from AZ Meads Fire Season. So Brett W checks into Fire Season from AZ
Fire Season's already like such a great trailer. It's a AAA movie over the top with a big
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, exactly.
Flames behind him. He's jumping out of a helicopter. He's shirtless, which is dangerous. Everyone's like, "Where are your suit?"
My God, you're 64.
Right. Why are you here? You retired 12 years ago.
Please don't do that. There's a lot of young men, old men saying that that's impossible. And here you are, Mark Wahlberg.
So
with an 8-pack.
It could be about that. I think it would. Yeah, maybe that's the safe thing to do it about fire season. What else can we do with fire and season? Fire season. I mean, if we go the route of, fire jumpers or whatever, then it's got to be a love story.
Exactly.
Just do it. Titanic in a burning forest. Man, I feel like we should do more.
Smoke jumper. It falls in love, joins the smoke jumper crew. I hope that's not derogatory. Leaves his small town girlfriend behind to go off to California.
Got it.
And fight the fires.
Yes, with
and
fists.
While he's out there, exactly, we have to earn our tools, right? I have an axe and a shovel, and I'm fighting a fire the size of our village.
That's right. That would be amazing.
And while he's there, he encounters like a woman. She's like, "Oh, my horses are trapped in the farm. I couldn't get them out."
Okay.
And he goes to save them, and the movie develops where he falls in love with
the horse.
This horse girl. There's references to Banana Whale.
Oh, horse girl. So he's got a love away from home. Yeah, that's very real.
Do you want me to save the horses? No, but in my room there are a lot of pictures and books that you need to save. Please.
Right. Get in that room. You leave your shirt at the door. I thought you were going to say, for whatever reason, tries to save the horses and mind melds with the horses, which is not in this title at all, but some lightning strike in the fire, and the woman's a witch, and there's a boy trapped inside one of the horses, and he hears it. That's not what this movie's about, but for some reason, that's what I saw.
Yeah,
maybe Mark Wahlberg saving some poor boy trapped in a horse's body. If it was Fire Stallion, maybe that would work. What the movie is.
That would, honestly, that's where my mind probably would have went too. Fire Stallion. How does that work? Fire season. Maybe, I don't know. You could make it about firing people, but I think we just did a better version of that in last week's Fast Five.
Oh man,
that. I might even. We'll see where this Fast Five goes. Last week. 2 weeks ago, that Fast Five, you guys weren't helping us out.
That was difficult.
So maybe this week we'll see and pull back a ringer from the past.
Something from the vault.
A stallion boy.
A stallion, a fire stallion, a stallion boy.
We'll see. I'm expecting to see hopefully some more fun beers in tonight's Fast Five. Do you want to cruise through and see what we got?
Let's see what else we got. Fire season. Right. All I can see now is just shirtless Mark Wahlberg
and a horse boy.
Trapped horse boy. All right, what's next? Let's see. Okay, hold on. Okay, what's this? We got. All right. I like this. Let's stay right here. So Daniel is hanging out, drinking some Homestyle from Bearded Iris. Homestyle.
Love the beer.
Great beer. Homestyle.
Bakery.
Okay, sure. I think of home. I think of Thanksgiving. I think of baked things. What if the style? What if how about this? It's a kid who's been homeschooled his whole life, and something happens, parents die, or they're just like, you got to get out of the house. Like, we see it 24 hours a day. You're 17 now. You're doing your senior year at the public school.
No, I like parent death.
Okay, fine.
That's a very tragic opening for this. We already want this kid. We don't even know what's happening, but immediately you're like, oh my God, you poor baby. Let me help you.
Right. And the problem is parents, by shielding him from the world, have completely unprepared him for it. And so now he's got to he's basically Encino Man, but looks normal, doesn't look like a gay person.
Shore.
Right. Well, maybe he can show up. Maybe it is Pauly Shore. Maybe he's a 70-year-old, 60-year-old
son.
Okay, but that's what I'm seeing. That's the gist, the starting
love the
point.
Premise.
Homeschooled guy has to go deal with the world, and
he's got like not prepper parents, but like homesteader parents. So he's like, we're not talking like, you're homeschooled, but you went to the prom.
No,
this kid is like,
churning
I'm homeschooled,
butter, right?
And yeah, we had 3 good goats
and 1 bad.
I heard about video games, but
right.
I thought that was
Sounds
just
like
magic.
the devil.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I see this now. So he's terrified of the world, but has no choice but to go in it. And it's, I don't know what the whole story is. It could be, fish out of water, which we do a lot of. It's kind of him trying to fit in and realizing that's not going to happen. So he has to come to terms with maybe he doesn't need to fit in. And he can be proud with his past. What was your
there's what is it? An inciting event.
Yes.
Okay. So his parents, I don't know, maybe they die before, during this event, but the land on which they live was like granted to them by some old man.
Perfect.
He died.
Perfect.
And in every movie right now, you should be expecting giant bulldozers to come. They're going to clear the land. We're going to put a bunch of storage crates here for people that need storage and car washes. And his parents, if they're around at the time, they're telling him how that we have to try and prepare and fight for this. Or maybe they died and now he's just been handling the farm, but now he's like, what are maybe he knows about machines, I don't know, but like he's got to try and find a way to fight these people. He can't go on Instagram and ask for help because he doesn't know what that is. So maybe one of the bulldozer girls is tired of all the guys that like telling her she shouldn't be on the crew.
Right.
And this kid's really kind-hearted. That's his strong suit.
Right. He comes out with an old wooden bucket of water and is trying to feed them ladles of water as they raise his land. And like, what the hell is this? Did you just plunge your toilet and bring it outside and feed it to us? What is wrong with you? And he's freaked out and runs away.
Throwing Dasani bottles on the ground everywhere.
Right. He's like, what is this? What is this magic? What can I use? What are these bottles full of? One of them's full of brown liquid. And it's water. Not that one. Oh, God. Sorry, there's no bathroom out here. So just the series of unfortunate events for this kid. And then he maybe makes a friend or two, but, realizes at the end, I don't need to be that involved in the real world. I can still churn my butter and hang out with my goats. And I just have to understand how credit cards work and how I can get home to the grocery store without dropping all my food in the road. And I'll be okay, I guess. That would be fun if a bulldozer knocks over a tree or a cave and it's full of gold or oil.
Here's the Harrison influence.
Well, that's how because I don't know what job you can do other than churning butter and selling your butter, I guess, if you've done that.
I guess his parents would have lived kind of rent-free here for so long. Right. But, commerce isn't really a thing. Maybe bartering.
So maybe that's how it ends. He gets to live his happy home-style life because he's the... What do they call it? The Plunkets? What's the Beverly Hills? The Beverly Hillbillies? Anyway,
Jeb.
Yes,
Jeb was one of them.
It's not going to come to me. It'll come to me when we stop recording.
A man named Jeb.
That's right. Shooting his gun in the swamp and it's a bunch of oil. A tale as old as time, but something like that maybe is how it ends.
Ooh, and then if we fast forwarded that's like the early part of the film, and then the later part of the film is his butter empire with his riches in whoever helped him sell the black oil or whatever. Now he's like, well, we'll set you up in L.A. Now I'm just recreating the Beverly Hillbillies. Never mind. We'll set you up in Washington D.C. Totally unique idea.
Right. Perfect. And he becomes the president. They finally found a simple enough man to run the country
Homestyle.
who has nothing to gain at all. He just wants to churn butter and hang out
because he was raised to give back, which is
that's right.
Now it sounds like a very teaching movie.
Sure, it could be like Kingpin though, and be hilarious, just like he has no idea what's going on. There's a lot of you could play that at serious, romantic, comedy. There's a lot of ways we could go there, but Homestyle.
At the end, it's a movie where it shows the human spirit constantly getting destroyed by people that seek to profit.
Yep.
But also persevering and prevailing in certain times.
No other choice. Some days I'm amazed we still exist as a species. Most days, every day.
True.
But we do. We persevere.
We have traffic.
It's all those strong butter churning arms.
And for those of you that don't watch the video, you've missed a lot of Harrison pantomiming butter churning.
That's exactly what I was doing. That was butter. Okay.
All right. Moving on.
Okay. What do we got? Oh, hold on. Oh, boy. Okay. All right. We got to stop on this. So I see Jay is checking in Big Nose from Swamp Head Brewery.
This is what we like to see on Beer Me That Movie.
This is Money in the Bank. Immediately, this is the retelling of Pinocchio, but it's a horror movie, and he's just known as Big Nose. And it could take place. Let's say, okay, so he becomes a real boy at the end of Pinocchio. Great, very happy. But maybe what's not explained is like, well, you don't have a soul. We don't talk about that, but it's like you were wood, so you're going to live forever. There's some weird thing I had to do to turn you real where now you're invincible. And so he's just like stuck, or maybe not invincible. We won't go into that much detail, but he can like, live for a long time. And so he just haunts this town, lives in a cave outside it, and is terrorizing it, and is known as Big Nose now, decades after, maybe a millennia after his story with Geppetto. Big Nose. Now he's lost. All his friends are dead. His grasshopper's dead. The magical fairy doesn't visit him anymore. He's lost all hope. He's just
Geppetto shunned in a
yeah, they're all dead.
Locked up in a library.
Everyone's dead. He's outlived all his friends and now become a bitter person. This wish he asked upon himself has now caused him nothing but an infinite amount of pain because he's just stuck on planet Earth forever.
I love this. I love this movie. If he kind of he's more like the
leprechaun from Leprechauns? Oh, okay, got it.
And,
the Babadook.
And he
okay.
He so he's almost mythical.
Yes, I see.
And there's a joke that my uncle tells about. I think it's Miss Piggy jumps on Pinocchio's nose and screams, "Keep lying to me." So this version of Big Nose, the scary part is
exactly
like he'll like you're sleeping and Big Nose Pinocchio jumps in and he gets into your bed and he like pounces down on top of you and looks you face to face.
That's right.
And then he's like, "Hey, it's me, Big Nose. Yes. I'm 100 feet tall." And his nose grows a little bit. And you realize like he's going to kill you with this thing if he keeps telling lies.
That's right.
So it's a really fun way to die.
Yeah, really fun way to die. That'd be amazing.
I got a 99 on my math test.
Exactly right. I have a fully functioning digestive system. What? That's a weird overshare. Ah!
Your mom loves me more than you. Nothing happens.
Mom? Oh, God, Big Nose, what are you doing in here? That's right. You're not supposed to come until Tuesday. Mom, what are you doing with Big Nose? Oh, nothing. Don't worry about it. A lot of lies happening in that house. Oh,
Big
my God.
Nose, the story of creepy Pinocchio is what's it? Seth Green?
Okay.
Perfect cast.
It's Pinocchio? It's Big Nose?
It's Big Nose.
That would be terrifying and amazing. And you're right.
The guy from Robot Chicken, right? Am I thinking of the
100%.
right guy? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He'd be all about it. I would hope. Well, yeah, let's make Pinocchio terrifying. Yeah, all these fairy tales, they end with happily ever after, but we can't confirm that. So time to rewrite some.
This is fun. Maybe for it to be a movie, maybe you have to have an ending. We've already got kind of a beginning. I want Pinocchio just killing people in fun ways.
Yes.
This is a contender.
Yeah, I think it is too, because you're right. We could weave this in all kinds of, obviously Pinocchio is such a well-told story. I mean, is the end game of whoever the hero becomes to turn him back into a marionette. How do you do that? From whence you came? Are we making deals with witches or fairies
Definitely. Sexy nuns?
Or now just using science because it's the 21st century and he's 800 years old and but
true. What ruins? They start pledging him, and he gets all squeaky.
Right. So anyway, okay, I like this. We could play with Big Nose and have Walt Disney come right after us. But we'll be careful. We'll be careful. You're right. Walt won't. He's asleep. Yeah. Big Nose got him.
It's the story of Big Nose trying to get to the frozen container that holds Walt Disney.
That's right. Maybe he can't live forever.
Plug him.
Close. Right, exactly. Give him to me. His soul must be free so I can consume it.
Perfect. There's like a little bit of Chucky happening.
Absolutely.
Okay, stop ruining it just in case.
Yep. Big nose. All right, good. We'll put Big Nose on the board.
You heard too much already.
Probably. And we can both do a Pinocchio voice, so that's the accent this week is Pinocchio.
Okay,
right.
Coming up next, what do we got? 3 down so far already?
Yeah.
All right. Coming up next.
Let's see. I feel a good one coming. Oh, okay. Hold on. What's this? All right. Let's stay here for a sec. So we've got from Agent Ale. Wow.
Wow.
He's working overtime. Where I Draw the Line from Mad Scientist. Where I Draw the Line. And there's a cool logo here of what looks like a kind of a coloring book type thing, just a black and white line drawing. So
what do you got? What are you thinking?
The first thing I jumped in my head was those old Harold the Crayon books. Do you remember those? Where Harold would draw with his purple crayon, basically his world every night. It was an empty piece of paper, and he'd draw a ball, play with the ball, draw a house, go in the house. Anyway, that's not quite what I think the movie should be, but it got me thinking, like, what if we talk about time travel a lot. Let's forget about that. That's fun, but let's go a different route. What if there was some person who could figure out a way to like manipulate reality in a, let's say, small town, doesn't matter where. And so basically, like, he's like a power hungry person that is constantly trying to change reality in his benefit so he can kind of control where the line is drawn. So he comes across someone who can somehow manipulate this same technology some other way. So we've got kind of an evil Machiavellian type character who's like, well, my way's the highway. It's always exactly. It's always been the law. You can't litter. If you don't, you got to give me your wife. And then, what do you mean? Show me the book. And then the law book changes to be like, littering is punishable by giving your wife away to mean manny pants. Like, oh, I guess it is the law. So he's constantly changed the reality to get what he wants. And obviously someone has to stop him.
So he draws the line.
The line is metaphorical,
but
yes.
Really, he would draw like a swimming pool underneath you, and then you would.
He could
fall
do that
into
too. Sure,
pool.
he could maybe even manipulate reality that quickly. That would be
because I was thinking like where I draw the line would probably be like the documentary of a famous animator.
Okay,
cool, boring,
sure.
But it'd be fun. If it was like almost like a superhero that could draw things into reality, kind of like where you were going.
Okay, I went evil. I'm glad you went nice.
Like, I mean, right, Superman could save you from a falling building. Line Man could just draw a slide really quick, right, and you would slide down.
Safe. I like that.
I mean,
I don't know how it'd be a cartoon.
If I had
maybe
that power, I would just draw boobs on everyone,
right, everywhere, like, everyone's head.
Sorry, I didn't make the world a better place, but I did.
but didn't I? It's all relative. But I think that we can play with that idea of this machine that can manipulate reality. What do good people do with it? What do bad people do with it? It could even be like an ancient machine. Like the pyramids was just a King Tut's doodle one day, and he drew it in this machine, and then they were there. That's how it happened.
Yeah, like that weird time device they found from Da Vinci or someone that they couldn't. I don't know if they figured out what it did or not.
What it did. I forget what was it called. Oh man.
Yeah, but it had a cool name that's been tropified. I can't remember it. It's probably on the screen, but
yeah, it'll be here.
I can't remember it right now.
It's there. But yeah, something like that. Some machine that can distort reality, and good people get it, bad people get it, and now we're making another Marvel movie, but maybe it's a smaller, like you see what happens when King Tut has it, you see what happens when Superman has it, but what happens when Jeb, the high school bully, like finds it in a garbage can one day and has absolute power,
turns all your chicken nuggets into vegan chicken nuggets.
And the whole town has too much gas and is uncomfortable all the time, right? Something like that. We go small with it and try to figure out like how would something that powerful ruin someone's prom, or turn some kid into the next super bad dude.
I like that. I don't know if it doesn't get me more exciting than more
Big
excited
Nose?
than Big Nose, the Pinocchio kill story.
Yeah, hi.
So that being said, I know we've done at least 5 beers. I don't keep track and my memory is awful, but
same.
Do you want to say Big Nose? And then
look for some ultimatums.
We got an ultimatum.
Yeah. Perfect. Let's do that. Let's find some ultimatums.
In this, I can't remember if this would be the first time that we had a prior beer take but Big Nose is a front runner for me right now.
Big Nose can be wild.
Half because of Pinocchio voice and half because of murdering people with his lies.
And that's the metaphor. Lies kill. Lies kill. Big Nose is no baloney.
You don't want to see me lie again. It'll go right through your eyeball.
That's right. Oh.
Okay, coming up next for ultimatums.
All right, let's give this one a go. I got a good vibe right away. From Alex N, we get High Water by Gravity Bound Brewing.
Aren't we all gravity bound? Good
for now.
Good
Thank goodness.
True.
High Water. I'm going to resist the urge to do puns and have it be a movie about, some cannabis-infused water empire that was being built right now. Let's throw that away. Do you have anything, John?
All I can think of is when I would wear hand-me-down pants that didn't come down all the way and the kids would pick on me and say they were high water pants.
Yeah.
So, to hell with you kids. Look, you don't have this podcast.
That's right, you bums.
High water. Okay, so it's natural disasters. The first thing that comes to mind. There's some flooding.
Yeah, flood. I think exactly right. I saw flood, and something in the flood, but we can't do alligators or sharks or snakes because that's all been done. Piranhas.
We could, but a lot of ocean-based creatures have already had terrifying movies. You haven't seen the Scourge of the Badger or the Wolverines
Beavers
that attack. None of that. No, land-based animals we're not worried about.
Right.
Throw me into a jellyfish horror film and I'm terrified. That one might not have been done, but yeah,
Sphere did it. Sphere had jellyfish.
Sharks, jellyfish.
Okay, so let's not
snakes,
do the ocean
alligators.
then. What else is terrifying from a lake?
Oh, I grew up near Lake Erie. The whole thing's terrifying.
Okay.
The fish that come out of it, the water that's in it, the mud near it, the boats that go on it.
Right.
Lake Erie's petrifying. At least of all the Great Lakes. I don't mean to throw shade at it, but you don't really want to go swimming that much out there.
Right. It's got the name. Okay. So what do you think? What do you got? Some disaster, some flood, something happens. And
there's no animal inside Lake Erie that I'm scared of. Outside of the zebra clam, razor clam, there was clams that would destroy your feet. Those were scary. I wish I could remember what they were called. It's up on the screen.
Okay.
But there. So since it's a movie, Lake Erie's pretty deep. I know it's not the deepest, but it's a big old pile of water. It's been there for a long time.
Yes.
So down at the bottom of Lake Erie, there's probably some kind of plant-based life form.
Okay.
That doesn't normally interact with us here on the surface. This giant nor'easter comes down from Canada and sort of creates the first of its kind in recorded history, like a freshwater hurricane where Lake Erie comes up and anyone 40, 50 miles from the shoreline is in a flood situation, which does encompass Buffalo and Cleveland, but also countless little villages in between. So this fungus mold spore that's down there.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, Harrison, it's bad.
Okay.
But then I'm going to
I had a feeling.
But then I'm going to ask you how bad it is.
Okay.
But it's a horror movie about high water, but it's what's inside the water. And this is where I need your brain power.
It could be, and we could slice this up a couple of different ways. We could let it be kind of nature doing this to us, or maybe with all the flooding, the lakes, the lowest it's been in 100 years, and we can finally get to this dig site we've been trying to get to. That's because it's more accessible, deeper under the water, and humans uncover it somehow. They kick over some old rock or whatever, and it attaches onto someone's wetsuit, and they spread this fungus, or maybe just gets washed ashore. Maybe it goes to animals, beavers first. People are noticing some weird, probably just rabid. Best to call animal control and put them down.
Animal control is buried with rabid squirrel phone calls.
Right. They can't keep up with the animals that are exhibiting these weird behaviors. It could start with the animals. Let's have it be nature just coming for us, as it does, to remind us how weak we are every once in a while. It's good when nature just punches you in the face. Well, it's not good, but it happens. So maybe that's how it starts. So you've got kind of like animals with crazy, mutations or happening to them, infecting people. Then it's the people, and now we kind of see that movie of just a small group of the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker all get together and have to fight this horde of mutated things, and we can figure out the end. But
I like this. I don't think we need to elaborate on it much. It's just one ultimatum going up against Big Nose already.
That's right, Big Nose,
but
baby.
There's a lot of little small towns on the Lake Erie shore, so I think it could take place there.
Okay.
In the bigger cities like Buffalo and Cleveland, and maybe even
they're lost.
Like they're already like almost like a zombie apocalypse. Like you don't go there. It's happening slower out here in the country. We're realizing things are weird. We'll see where that goes, maybe. But we got one more ultimatum.
That's right.
Before Harrison has to decide.
Big Nose looking good.
All right, so one more coming up.
I've got a good feeling about this one. Let's see what you think. So Douglas C. is enjoying Dance Till You're Dead.
Love it.
My Resident Culture.
Another Resident Culture.
Dance till you're dead. I think it's a song. Pretty sure it's a song.
There's a spell in Dungeons and Dragons called Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Okay.
Which makes me think of this beer name. It's not a movie, it's just a spell.
I like that.
That kind of makes your spell victims laugh, and they lose their turn and they keep laughing hysterically.
So here's what jumped into my cranium immediately. And again, I've got 12% of this figured out. So let's see where this goes. But everything's small town. We're in the gymnasium.
Small town's great setting.
Most of the people live in one, but so it's relatable, or came from one, or has seen one. So we all know
that's very political of you. We all know small towns exist. Everybody knows that. Most everyone knows that.
Right. Seen it in a book, right? At least. So Dance Till You're Dead. It's one of those, what do they call them? Dance marathons, where you do like a 24-hour fundraiser.
Okay.
For whatever.
I don't think those happen as much now that people just dance on TikTok in front of me while I'm in line at fucking Costco.
Right, exactly. But they don't interact with people in the world anymore. They just get 500,000 people online. But honestly,
that's a great.
So
a dance marathon would be
right. Which there's a Gilmore Girls episode about it. There's a lot of it's in movies. It exists. It's a thing. But so this one though, Dance Till You're Dead. I'm seeing small town. We're in the gymnasium. We're doing it. We're dancing. It's the hour one. Everyone's still in it. And then basically what happens is like if you stop dancing, you die. And maybe we won't even explain chemical spill, supernatural blah. Like we just throw you in the audience into this. And the first people
I hate movies like this, but it's so much more fun to make.
Exactly. And it starts with like the first, obviously when it happens to the first couple, everyone's like, it's a fluke. Maybe it's the older couple and they're just out of breath. And then all of a sudden it turns horrible. I guess that would maybe stop. Maybe they don't die.
No,
right
they know.
Away.
They know. We don't know.
Right.
But they all know, like, this is a dance marathon.
Right.
And the only people that live are the last ones that are
But that's
dancing.
what's going to happen. But I don't know. I don't quite know yet how, like, to prevent everyone stopping from dancing immediately and all dying when they see one couple die. But we can kind of...
Because they know. They're like, oh, my God, they went down. They're gone. We have to keep dancing, honey. Don't stop dancing or we're going to die, too. Like, they all know that it's coming for them.
Oh, okay. So immediately...
We don't know why. It's not explained why.
Okay.
But they're in here. We're watching this dance marathon. And we see someone die as the audience. And we think that's a big deal. But then you hear, like this younger
Twilight
couple.
Zone,
and they're like, don't stop. That's why we can't stop dancing. We don't want to end up like that.
Can't be us. It can't be us. We agreed.
And because we're such good writers, we're never going to tell you why this situation exists. You're just going to hear stories as everyone's dancing.
I know. Yeah, but that is kind of what I like. That's the crux of the whole movie is people on the floor trying not to stop, and things will happen, and maybe sabotage happens, and other people get frustrated about it, but you can't stop and talk about it because you'll die. But yeah, that's the whole movie is you stop dancing, you die. And well, initially I was like, just imagine a hilarious scene of like a bunch of couples dancing down hallways trying to figure out the source of the death. It's like because they can't run or walk,
they're still dancing
they've got to
around,
keep
like
doing the cha-chas or trying to figure out the source of this,
like Breakfast Club, but with dancing.
Right, exactly that. So I don't have the whole thing, but the initial thought of. And that's a powerful first scene is dancing and everything's happy and great. And then boom, a couple stops and they drop dead. And then you're thrown right into the fray and have to.
I mean, I kind of like I meant it when I said I hate movies like this, but as the audience, I would imagine, I'm looking at the DJ and I'm like, is he a magician? Is he the one that's doing this? Why are all these people here? Did they sign up for this?
Right. Did they all drink something? This kind of gives me a little fourth dose vibes. Like
the DJ's like, all right, we're going to do a 40-minute dance banger marathon, mini marathon for 40 minutes straight.
Yep. Yeah.
Before I play the next Journey song, you can catch your breath.
So that's what I have for Dance Till You're Dead.
Dance Till You're Dead I like the idea of making a movie like that where we can just have fun with the little conversations between, and there's one couple that knows they're not going to be able to make it another hour, so they're like confessing everything and their love and all this stuff. There's another couple that is thinking about sabotage. They're like, that guy's been stumbling. If I can just like kick his foot, he'll fall. They'll both die.
And it'll be just us
and then it happens, and we see the saboteur also get ganged. They're like, nope, no cheating. You're gone too.
They also die. So they're in this marathon, have no idea what the rules are, just that if you stop, you die.
Yeah, kind of like, what it makes me think of is that that movie that was big on, or that series that was big on Netflix where it was, what was it, Korean, and everybody, Squid Games.
Squid Games, yes.
Yeah, like, you didn't really, as the viewer, you didn't really know that everyone was going to die the first time they played that stop red light, green light game. I don't think.
No.
And then you're like, wait, what?
What am I watching? Oh, okay.
Okay, so yeah, it's Squid Games, but with a dance marathon instead. Damn it.
We make it our own. It'd be very focused on, it'd be a different vibe than Squid Games.
True, and we'd have to get a really good DJ.
Yes. For sure.
You would have to think it was them because they'd probably be one of the only other characters you saw in the whole film.
Right.
So you'd have to think it was them, but they'd have to be so good that you also liked them.
Right. Sure. Or felt sorry for them. Like maybe it was clear they didn't want to be there, were terrified, and also just dancing by themselves the whole time up in the booth, because if they were like, I can't stop.
If I stop, we're all going down.
We're all dead. And someone who's like on the way out, like maybe some person who is dying when they stop tries to crawl to the outlet to unplug the DJ thing with their last breath, and people are like, no, you're trying to kill us all. There could be all kinds of crazy things that happen. I don't know. Some TikTok kid starts doing a TikTok dance. They're like, nope, that's not dancing. Exactly.
You're gone.
You're dead immediately. Right.
Oh gosh,
killed by the mob. Right. Not even by the magic, whatever. The people just beat him up and he dies.
Yeah. dance fight him to death.
Right. Kicking and bobbing and weaving and
this
doing
is
the shuffle.
Dancing.
Exactly.
Ninja dancing.
We're still dancing. I twirled at the end.
Okay, so let's wrap it up. We got Dance Till You're Dead. We've got Big Nose, and we've got High Water.
Ooh,
I can't
right.
think of any
High
others
Water.
from the running that I want to bring in.
No, those are good.
And I love the idea of like deep sea, deep lake mold coming out and inflicting nature on us. But I don't know how to. I want to kind of have a little bit of fun with our next one, so I'm going to cross High Water out. Not that it's a bad idea, but I'm just not feeling it right now.
Got it. Fine.
What about you, Harrison? Is there one of Dance Till You're Dead or Big Nose that you don't want to do? I won't ask you to pick one. I'll just ask you if there's one you don't want to do.
I think I can't. Big Nose. It's got to be Big Nose. We got to do Big Nose.
Big Nose.
Big Nose is coming for you. Coming to a town near you. Cool
so for our 11th feature film, it's going to be Big Nose, the origin story of Pinocchio.
Which I guess maybe we can say.
Maybe not
we
the
can't.
origin.
Yeah, I think it's the latter. It's not the origin. It's the porigin. That's not what it is. It's the epilogue.
I like porigin.
It's the porigin of Pinocchio.
That's a Pornhub category. Let's go
boy.
porigin tonight, boys.
Oh, that sounds great. Yeah, but it'll be kind of the postscript to the Pinocchio story. We all know what happened to him years later. We'll get to play with somebody else's something to start tonight. Someone else's IP a little bit, but not really. It's all in jest and a parody film, which I think protects us legally from things. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure we're allowed to do it. We'll call him Ronocchio to be safe.
Yeah, or just call him Big Nose. This is the last time you hear us say Pinocchio. You all maybe.
All right, we'll see you in a week when you learn more about the story of what happened to Pinocchio afterwards, as we do at the same time.
It's dangerous to lie, especially if you're Big Nose. All right, we'll see you next week.